A lot of people think that when it says in the Bible to bear each other's burdens, bear the burdens of those who are weaker, it means that we're literally supposed to allow them to cast every single burden they have upon us and do sin and witchcraft and sorcery to transfer the burdens upon us. And that's not what that scripture means when it says that we're supposed to bear the burdens of those who are weaker or bear the infirmities of those who are weak. That means we're supposed to guide them. We're supposed to help them. We're supposed to assist them. Those who are like carnal, they're new babes in Christ, or people who have not been in the church longer, people who are of the world. We're supposed to be teaching them, be a little more tolerable to them, be more patient in helping them and guiding them in the right direction. Also, there could be those who are part of the church who are sick and fragile, meaning they cannot do things for themselves. They might be confined to their beds or unable to really move about the house. So we can go to their house and help clean up their home. Or if there's someone who in the church is poor and needy, you can give them a hand by, helping them with their bills, helping them to put food on the table. Those are the types of things that God means when he wants us to bear the burdens of those who are weak. It does not mean that you literally sit here and use sorcery to continue to keep casting your burdens upon another soul. And many of you have known better. You know better by now, and you just want people to continue to keep carrying your burdens. God might allow it for a moment, but you know better. And when you know better, God's not going to keep allowing you to keep casting your burdens upon other people. And I look at my situation. Yes, we're supposed to suffer for righteousness' sake, and I have suffered. No one can tell me I have not had my fair share of suffering. If anything, I feel like I've suffered more than enough because I see other people who are sitting in the church comfortable. They don't do anything for God. They just go to church every Sunday. They say they're born again and they live like a regular sinner or someone who's of the world all the rest of the days of the week and year. And they don't do anything, meaning they don't do anything for God's kingdom. They're not fighting. They're not helping in this battle. So all the weight is on those who are actually taking their part, carrying their sword, picking up their cross, and they're fighting, meaning they're praying. They're battling spiritual principalities. They're warfaring in the spirit realm. They're out there ministering to people, telling others about Jesus Christ. They're taking the retaliation, the hits, and the sufferings. They're being persecuted. Yes, there are people who are being persecuted all over the world, but there are also those who are sitting here compromising, being lukewarm, and they're not doing anything. They're just sitting on a pew every Sunday and they just go to church and sing a couple hymns and quote a few scriptures and have picnic or a gathering of food afterwards, go to their favorite restaurant and eat, and then go back home and live the rest of the day, and the rest of the week they're living for themselves selfishly. And there are many of us who have actually carried the burdens. But what I want to talk about is those who are casting your burdens. God did not say do witchcraft and put your burdens upon another human being. I have been carrying a person's burdens for over 30 years now. I've been carrying many people's burdens, and that should not be. Because when you get better, God says when you're strong enough, you're supposed to pick up your own cross. And you're not even supposed to put your burdens on other people. You're supposed to go to Jesus Christ. He says, come to me, all ye who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. If you don't go to him, how can you ever get rest? If you don't go to him, and let's say you have a problem and you don't like the fact that you keep gaining weight, that you gain weight very quickly, you have a very slow metabolism, your bone structure is made where you are able you gain a lot of weight. You don't like being overweight. So is it fair that you take your burdens and cast upon another person who is not built that way, who is athletic in shape, who has a mesomorph build and body and has more muscle and can lose weight very quickly? Or if they gain weight, it's like they have more muscles, harder for them to gain weight, and they lose weight. So you feel like, okay, since this person has that body, I want to covet that, so I'm going to put my burdens upon them. And then this person all of a sudden cannot lose weight anymore. They find themselves, or if they do lose weight, like they'll run and work out hard. Like for my instance, me, I've been working out. I've been working out for a long time and still have not seen the results of it because people keep casting burdens upon me. People who have saw my body type, that God blessed me with a mesomorph build, which means I have more muscle. And it was always easier for me to lose weight and harder for me to gain weight, because if I did gain weight, you couldn't really tell because I had so much muscle. And so my body will always look a certain way. But now people have cast their burdens upon me to the point where they find out, because they have a more of an endomorph build and they cannot lose weight. So they put their burdens upon me, where I'm going out here, I'm working out every day, faithfully, putting in all the hard work, putting in all the labor, and I see myself getting results. I'll look down, my legs look nice and toned and muscular and small. And then, within a day or within a couple hours, next thing I look around, I see all this lumped up fat all over my body. I'm like, what's going on? My muscles are gone. It's taking all the muscles out of my body. My legs are all jiggling and flopping when I walk. My breasts all of a sudden go from looking like an orange to weighing almost big as a watermelon. They're flopping out and they can't even fit in my bra. And I'm feeling the fat all over my body, jiggling off my butt. And this has been going on for years. And the Lord finally let me know that they're putting demonic fat on me. They're transferring fat onto my body because people don't like how they are. So this is the thing. God made everybody different. And I don't like to keep talking about the same stuff, but if you don't go to God and help him, ask him to help you love yourself and embrace yourself, you're going to always be this way. And don't think he's going to keep allowing you to cast your burdens upon other people, because that's not what he meant. He made everybody a certain way. We're all fearfully and wonderfully made. If you go to God, he can teach you how to eat right for your body type, how to do the proper exercise for your body type. There are people who have an endomorph body who are able to maintain a nice, healthy weight. They're able to look a certain way. They're able to eat the right foods that are for their body, where they do not gain weight, where they can maintain a healthy weight, where they can look nice for their shape. There are people who will walk around and they can embrace themselves without casting the burdens upon other people using sorcery and witchcraft. If you put in the work, or you research and do what you need to do and stop being lazy, then you can get to that level. I went to God to show me how to eat from my body type. And I stopped eating meat because the Lord showed me that my body actually thrive better on a vegetarian diet. And it's not that we're saying meat is unhealthy or is bad, because in the Bible it does say that we can eat those animals that God, that they're blessed, and there's nothing wrong with eating animals. But the Lord showed me for my body type that this is what I eat. That works for me. And that's why I adopted a vegetarian diet, where he did not want me to eat much sugar, much processed foods, all that stuff. I had to, make a sacrifice. And so it's like either you make the sacrifice and do the hard work, or you reap what you put into yourself. You reap what you sow. You're not supposed to sit around eating junk, eat whatever you want to do, and your body cannot take that. You gain weight, and then you feel that, oh, well, I'm going to just eat what I want, and now I'm going to put the burdens on this person. That's unfair to them. And yes, God had me carry around that burden for a while, for a long time, because he saw that you were weak. You did not know better, but you know better now. And he is at the point where he's going to start judging people. And this is the thing I've asked him before, because it's like when you let someone do something, they're not supposed to keep holding on to you and depending on you as a crutch. God wants us to get to the point where we can go to him and have him carry our burdens and help us. There are people who are of the world, and it's like people are taking things from me from head to toe. It's nice and flattering that you think I'm attractive. You think I'm that attractive that you want to take from head to toe, but it becomes annoying when I wake up every day and I look at my nose is one shape one day, or my eyes are mismatched, lopsided. I never had lopsided eyes. They were both the same size. And it's like when the Lord's letting me know that someone's literally sitting here putting my eyes on the altar so they can take the shape of my eyes, and I'm walking around here with one eye bigger than the other because this person's trying to manifest themselves and take my eyes, because they're manifesting my eyes literally off my face. It's becoming annoying. I have people who walk around from head to toe with my hair color, my hair type, my nose, my eyes, my DNA, everything you want about me, my lips. You took everything because you coveted something that belonged to another human being, to the point you wanted to manifest a whole type of other person now. I feel like, because there's celebrities out here who want to look a certain way. They go pay a surgeon to get to shape and craft them to look a certain way. Heck, I feel like somebody should be cutting me a check right now, because you walk around with everything about me from head to toe. But let's just be honest here. You're taking from God. Those things he gave to me, you're still meant from him, because he put it inside me, and those are his things. There are people who are taking my strength out of me, taking my muscles, taking my knowledge out of my brain, because I was an intelligent woman, taking everything, things that we have sown, things that were put inside of us. And you think God's going to allow you to get away with this? Yes, I get angry at God because I feel like, Lord, you say you're a merciful God, but you also say you're a God of judgment and justice. This is why I get upset, because it's like you're taking too long to move. It's not fair to another person to carry another person's burdens all their life and have you keep putting your burdens and casting them upon them and using it as a crutch instead of going to God. If you don't want to go to God and get help, then I don't encourage people to get surgery. But heck, normal people in the world, if they see that they're out of shape and they're big and they cannot lose weight, they go and consult doctors and nutritionists, and they undergo bariatric surgery. Some people have had their stomachs clamped to the point where they are able to now eat a smaller amount of food and they can start losing weight. I had a friend when I was working years ago who went and got this type of surgery. She started losing weight right away. She looked great. So, there's other options. There are people who, if you hate your nose so much, or you hate the way you look and you don't like yourself, then I don't encourage people. Like I said, I don't encourage this. I don't think anyone should to change anything about their bodies. But if you're really that desperate and you hate how you look when you look in the mirror every day, then go get a nose job. Go pay someone to change and morph your features to the way you want, and just leave other people alone. Because see, you're doing sorcery, and you're taking from other human beings and casting burdens on them, and this is something that is an abomination. And God is going to start judging people for this. Whether you get away with it today, he might not judge you right now, but when I said on Judgment Day, if you think you're going to get into heaven, when you're coveting other people, you're so jealous of another human being to the point you're just doing all the sorts, and that's just plain evil. Like I said, normal people go get surgery. There are people who bleach their skin, which I don't understand. There are people who bleach their skin. There are people who wear weave. You don't like your hair. They got all types of wigs out here. They got everything. There's so much nowadays, so much stuff you can do to change how you look, that there's no reason to be sitting here coveting something of somebody else's. If you don't want to go to God to learn how to embrace who you are, then there's other options. So by you taking from me, it's just like, it's ridiculous. You would rather sit here and do sorcery, something that's a temporary thing, and you know God's going to keep coming back. And so every day you have to keep doing sorcery to keep stealing from this person, and it keeps wearing off. You'd rather go through that and go through possibly being judged and punished or even losing your life, because he says in the Bible, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. You're messing with his anointed servants. You think that you're going to get away with this stuff. You're really playing with fire right now. So you'd rather go through all of that instead of allowing God to help you, learning how to love yourself, learning how to embrace who you are, getting the healing from all the trauma and hurt that you've undergone, or doing what sane people do and taking your money and fixing what you don't like about yourself. I've always said that before, that I wanted to get surgery on my stomach because I had a baby when I was very young and my muscles were weakened to the point where I always had a stomach that was not completely flat, and it was wrinkled because my stomach muscles were not developed when I had my child so young. So my stomach was always like that. And I always say, okay, if I get enough money, I'm going to get me a tummy tuck. I'm going to get a tummy tuck. That's what I always said. So there's options. If you don't like something about yourself, you can get surgery. There's all types of fixes to the point where I don't understand why another human being would want to just keep throwing their burdens on another human being. But like I said, when you sit here and keep putting your burdens upon me, and I get up every day and I do what I need to do, I'm making the sacrifices. I like to eat sweets too, okay? I like junk food also. I like pizza and stuff every now and again. But I know that if I keep eating that stuff and I want to look a certain way, it's not gonna be possible. You can't have your cake and eat it too, meaning you can't sit here, especially if you have a slower metabolism and you're at a certain age now where your body is not burning off them calories really quick. You can't afford to eat that stuff, so why even take that chance? You had to learn to become disciplined and take the sacrifice. Either I want to look good, either I want to be small, not overweight and obese. I want to look at myself and fit into my clothes and be happy when I look in the mirror, or I want to gorge on junk food and eat as much fast food as I want, and then now you got to pay the consequences. Either you're going to sacrifice the fast food or you're going to sacrifice looking nice and in shape. You can't have it both and eat too, because you can't have it your way and say, oh, I'm going to eat this junk food, or I'm not going to exercise. I'm going to just sit here and be lazy all day and then expect to cast your burdens on another human being and expect people to feel sorry for you. I wrote fitness books for a reason, and people took it instead of trying to get the help when I was trying to show people how to lose weight, because I know how to lose weight. That's not the problem, me losing weight. It was the problem was people casting their burdens upon me, putting their fat back on me, or attacking me, taking things from me because they didn't have it, and being wicked on purpose because they were jealous. God, I know how to lose weight. God showed me how to lose weight. Like I said, I lost the weight twice when they put the burdens on me. This was never my weight to carry in the first place. These burdens were on me from a young child when they were putting curses out on me and transferring and swapping my DNA with other people. I was always a small girl. When you look at me and any of my photos when I was a kid, I was always had an athletic build. I was always in great shape. I was very athletic. I was like a tomboy. I would run around, jump, I could run, I could do all that stuff. I was never overweight. I didn't become overweight till other people were casting their burdens upon me. And this is something I dealt with, and God's not going to keep allowing it to happen. I've talked to him about it because, you see, when he says his word, he says something in his word, he's supposed to honor it. And if you want to sit here and not take the initiative to help yourself, like I said, I put out that book and people used it for ebook. I'm going to take that book instead of using the knowledge I put in there. I put all types of knowledge in that book to help people lose weight, to help people go through God the way I did. Okay, and adapt a healthy lifestyle. But people have, out of their jealousy and hatred, sat here and put curses out on me and stole things from me. And you think that you're going to walk around and get away with that. You think somebody's going to feel sympathy for you when you're doing evil to another human being. There's no reason that anyone should be casting burdens on another human being the way we have so much out here. You might be struggling with depression. You might be struggling with all these things. Like I said, I've been there, okay? I've gone through all that stuff before. But I had to go to God for the deliverance and healing. He helped me come out of that state where I was able to get up every day and go and exercise. But he did not do that for me so you can go and put your burdens. But he did it so I can be a motivation to others who were in that same state. People would stop me all the time. I said that before. People would stop me in cars like, oh, how are you running? How long you been running? And I would tell them this information. That is why I wrote the fitness book, because I wanted to spread the knowledge and the experience that I had to help others. But it's like people, when you turn around and do evil to people, there are people who are jealous and just envious and wicked, who are set out here on purpose to try and sabotage and destroy everything that God has built up inside of me. Instead of going to him yourself and letting him help you the same way he helped me. He is not a person who will do one thing for me and not do it for you. He says he's not a respecter of person, meaning if you go to him and you have the faith and you put in the dedication and you take it, you do what he tells you to do. Like if he tells you to do something and you don't do it, then how do you expect to get the results? If God tells you to stop smoking and he gives you the ability to do it, and he say, hey, you need to stop smoking so you can become healthy, then you need to stop smoking. If he tells you to stop eating certain foods and say, hey, put the fast food down and stop eating fast foods, you don't need to be eating fast foods every day, then that's what you need to do. Don't sit here and think everybody's supposed to feel sorry for you and carry your burdens. That's not what that means in the Bible. It means, yes, we're supposed to help those who are weak and guide them and help them. But no, we're not supposed to be here as a crutch for you to continue to use all your life and thinking everybody's supposed to just carry your burdens, just dump all your problems on other people. That's not what it's supposed to be. Every man's supposed to get up and pick up his own cross. Like Jesus told the man in the Bible, do you want to be healed? If you want to be healed, he said, pick up your bed. So you're not supposed to be casting your burdens on other people, and God is going to be judging you. He is going to punish you for that. You're going to reap everything you've sown.